Hello, Dr. Brown. My name is Victor Castro. I take your 8 a.m. class, and today I will be interviewing my friend Ana Jimenez on why it's important for Hispanics to continue their education or any minority group. So, first off, I want to ask you when and where were you born?
I was born in Oaxaca, Mexico, July 7, 1991. I recently turned 24.
How did your family get to Texas, and where were they before that?
Um, they were all in Mexico. Most of my family is, and they had to cross the border to get here when I was about 3 or 4 years.
So, the majority of your family's in Mexico, so about how many relatives do you have here?
I have a couple uncles, not that many. As it's
You
just
have
a
in
small
Mexico?
little group. Yeah,
Do you feel like do you feel like you're not at home because your whole family's not here?
yeah. There's times where I wish I could just go over there and visit, but I mean I can't because I'm not allowed to.
What do you remember about your childhood?
I really don't remember much. I just remember coming here. It is a really hard thing to go through. You still have nightmares about it sometimes, but that's probably the big impact that I had as a child.
And you said nightmares. Why do you have nightmares?
Because it's a really hard experience when you had to cross the border at such a young age.
Um, about your childhood, did you already know English when you came from Mexico, or was that something you had to learn?
I had to learn that throughout my elementary. I wasn't able to get out of the ESL, which is bilingual classes, up to the ninth grade because I struggled a lot with learning English.
Did your parents ever discuss racism or race for you as a child?
No, my parents were mainly always working to try to pay the rent, pay everything for our school because it is four of us, and it's only them working here. And everything I learned, I just learned it off of school.
What kind of interactions do you have with people that are not Hispanic?
Um, I grew up in Katy, so it was really hard to really find that Hispanic group because I was surrounded by all white people. So yeah.
What notable moment in American history sticks out the most?
Probably when Obama became president, because with that I was able to get a worker's permit, which also allowed me to study here and get help and work legally.
Where were you, and how did you respond when he won? Were you still in high school?
I was still in high school, and I was really excited to the point where my family was crying because we are now able to
Work
work
legally?
and get good pay and not have to suffer through not earning a good amount of money.
Um, what advice would you give young people today?
I would tell everyone to stay in school because education is the most important thing you can have. No one can take that away from you.
As a Hispanic that is not permanently a resident here or a citizen, because right now you only have a permit, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder for you to go to school here?
Yes. Not anymore. With the permit, it allowed me to get help, get loans, because before I wasn't able to do that, so I couldn't go straight to U of H. I had to go to ACC and just take one or two classes as much as my parents could pay off, and then was able to transfer to U of H.
So, but did you have to pay out of state or in state?
I had to pay out of state, which
Even though you lived here your whole life?
even though that I graduated from here, they still made me pay. I paid about probably some close to $2,000 for two classes, and that was a lot, plus textbooks. But had to do
And
it.
you wanted to go straight to UHD, but to UH or UHD? Which
U of H.
U of H. You wanted to go there straight, but you couldn't, right?
Yeah, it was impossible. It's a lot of money. I couldn't get the loans because again, I was not from here. Up to the point where I got the permit, I was able to get loans, get help, and everything.
When you got your permit to be able to work, were you working full time and going to school too, or were you just
I was, whenever I was graduating high school, I was able to be a manager at a fast food restaurant. I was working full time and being a part time student, and
and what did you study in college?
I studied I studied business management
And why did you want to study that?
because I've always liked working. I always liked being my own boss. So basically, I like running stuff because when I was young, I was a manager, and I basically just loved that position.
And where do you work at right now?
I'm currently a GM at a country club, Willow Ford Country Club.
Would you identify any important teachers or role models that made a big impact in your life?
Yes, many of my Spanish teachers knew what I was going through and knew the struggle that I had to go through. And also some of my English teachers because they helped me out through all my high school, helped me, pushed me, and taught me, helped me learn correct English.
You told me you have siblings, right?
Yes.
Are they all here in the United States with you?
Yes,
Do
but
you feel like what you've gone through could benefit them later on in the future?
yes, I know. Me and my brother, we had to go through the same thing because we both weren't born here. And luckily, my other two brothers were born here, so they don't really have to struggle. And again, I push them to do as much as they can because I don't
Even though
want
they
them
have
to.
it easier than you,
They
still
have
want
it
them.
way easier than me, but I just want them to have a good future and appreciate and value what they have.
Do you feel like at this year, 2015, your brother and sister, even though they were born here, they still struggle the same racial criticism that they get in school? Because you told me that you live in Katy, and I know Katy is predominantly white. So do you think that that affects them growing up?
Yes, because around Katie, there's a lot of people that can be racist. I'll admit that. But I've taught them to just move on, just focus in school. Like, don't worry about what people say because in the end, they're going to be educated, they're going to have a good job, they're going to have a good career.
Being Hispanic, do you feel like, were you scared that your parents or you were going to ever get deported?
Yes, of course. Every day up to this point, I worry about my parents getting deported. Even though me and my brother can't because we have our permit, my parents can't. So that's still something that we struggle with. And we worry every day. Every time they go to work, we just worry, are they going to come back? Someone's probably stopping them. We pray that they will be with us till we get.
And right now with the permit, you can work legally, but that doesn't guarantee you a stay in the United States, right?
Yeah.
So in case if you get like a ticket and you don't pay it, they could deport you based on a little crime.
Yes, we have to stay clear. I try to do my best and stay good, keep a clear record because it could affect me, and I don't want to lose the privilege of being here.
Do you feel like this is something, even though you're not a citizen or a resident, do you think that this should be taken against you, or should it be like this with everybody? If they mess up, they should be sent somewhere else.
Well, not really. If it's something small, like just a simple ticket, they shouldn't be punished for it. I get they're trying to keep this country safe, but there's also to a certain point, think about it. They have families here. They have, they
They're
have
income
their
supporters. They're
yes,
the ones paying
everything's
bills.
here for them. Like just like my parents, if they were to leave, I have little baby brothers, baby sister. What would they do without them? I get I'm working. I could take care of them, but that's our parents. They would separate a family. They would break the home.
How did your teachers and your school prepare you for where you are right now?
I had a lot of help from teachers. There were some that I will admit were really racist towards me because that still happens. There's teachers that can't accept the fact that we're here to have an education. But I mean, a lot of them helped me out. A lot of them were really just helped me push me through high school, push me through college. Wanted me to be someone in life.
What memory sticks out the most, or any other significant moments in U.S. history that you recall while you were in college? Like anything that happened that affected you while you were in college? Or do you feel like it was like once you made it to UH, it was a smooth ride?
I mean, U of H, going to school, it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. I still struggle with the English part because in my house, it's only Spanish and it's always that whole speaking two languages, and it's always been hard in school. If for any bilingual person, it's gonna be hard because you have two languages that sometimes you don't know which one. But I mean, it's all.
Did you stay on campus or at home?
I stay home because it's always really helpful to have that family support.
And do you feel like if you would have gone and stayed on campus, you think you would have been able to pay it off or afford it?
No, because even though, yes, we get help, I don't want to put all that money on my parents. I know it's my school, and I mean, I paid it off, but it's still a lot of money, and I'd rather be home like again, help my parents, and they could help me as well.
Do you think HBCUs, which are schools for like the majority black people or minorities, do you think those schools should be focused all around? Because what was U of H like? Was it like a lot of Hispanics or African Americans, or was it more white people? Or would you say it's equally mixed?
U of H is equally mixed. There's all kinds of people. You know, my uncle also graduated from there. He became a petroleum engineer. You know, he also has the visa, the permit to be here, and he's really successful now. So
Do you feel like it would be better if U of H tried to help minorities?
yes, I think everyone should be helped, but when it comes to minorities like Hispanics or Black people, they need a lot of support because sometimes they can be treated differently. They could tell them, you know, no, you can't do this when they can. With a lot of help, they will be able to be someone really successful.
Any last words you want to tell people that are in high school right now, people that might not want to finish school?
Stay in school because education is really important. It is something that no one can take away from you. People can take money away from you, but education is really important. That assures you a good future, good career. You know, you could have your dream house with a good career and having a good job, everything. You know, just have that education and you are going in the right way.
Well, thank you, and that concludes our interview for today. Thank you, Anna.